Yo, what is the deal, YouTube? What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome back, Dolphin Fan Voices podcast. Once again, it's two of us. I don't know if I'm going at the right time for everybody. I'm still trying to get the timing worked out. On these Saturdays. I did. Anyway,
Do you
um,
have? Sorry.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, let's dive right into the intros. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
Name's Ron. Fan for life. I'm here in Northern California, north of San Francisco, up in wine country, just chilling and representing in Raider 49er country.
You representing the Raider 49er country?
I'm up in their country and representing Dolphins.
Okay. I'm in a
Yeah, every time I sport a T-shirt, a hat, or a jersey, someone always has to talk shit.
oh man. Of course, my name is Isaiah. I am a Dolphin lifer, born and raised in Miami. I'm now in Atlanta, Georgia. I basically moved here for work, as I've told pretty much everybody. But yeah, man. Let's dive right into these topics, man. There's a lot to talk about, to go through in this hour. This hour kind of goes by pretty fast. So we're gonna dive right into this hour and get on these topics, man. Dolphins versus Saints. What do you think about that Dolphins versus Saints game, man?
It was, other than the first drive, was hard to watch.
Right. Absolutely.
The defense seemed to play well.
Uh,
They gave up some yardage, but I mean, to only have given up 3 points in the whole first half,
mhm.
that was pretty good, I think, especially to Breeze.
Yeah. True.
I don't know what they can do on offense though. We're supposed to have, like, by ESPN standards, we have the third best skill positions in all of the NFL: wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs. I just don't see it.
True. True. Well, I mean, if you look at what we have at wide receiver, at running back, you've got Jay Ajayi, who was a top 5 running back of last year, and then you look at the wide receivers that we have. There's a lot of talent there, but this offense has just been freaking sputtering the entire. I mean, it didn't. To me, it didn't look great in the preseason. Um, it's not looking good now, and I saw a lot of people that were like optimistic because of the start that we had last year when we started 1-4, and then we ended up, coming back. And a lot of that, what people don't understand is a lot of that was on the back of Jay Ajayi. Well, Jay Ajayi isn't sneaking up on anybody this year. Teams know exactly what he is this year. Last year, they didn't really know what he was. So he was able to break out and bust out in a few games and get us back on track. This year, that's not going to happen. So it's going to have to be a little bit more. And that's what scares me the most, is knowing that we're starting slow and we don't have that surprise factor on the offense. It's just going to show up and go off for 200 yards against the Steelers, and another 200 and another 100, and get us back on track. That, I think, that's the part that I think a lot of people are missing.
Well, to play off of that too, though, if you notice the personnel for that first 5 games where we went 1-4, and then after cutting obviously those 3 guards, and then the Steeler game week 6. If you notice the personnel, we didn't slide a tight end in the game just for running downs, slide a tight end off for passing. It was pretty much Jay Ajayi in the backfield, single back, Marquise Gray at tight end, and our 3 wide receivers. And we were able to run and pass out of the same personnel. Now, Ajayi did come off in passing downs and the spelling to give him a rest, and they brought in Damian Williams and Kenyon Drake.
Right.
Well, this year the personnel is different. They're sticking with the 3 wide receivers, and instead of having Marquise Gray, they're sticking with Julius Thomas.
Come off and passing down.
When they go to run, they take either Parker, Steele, or Landry, one of those 3, off. They bring in Anthony Fasano, then they run the ball. Then Fasano comes off, the 3rd wide receiver comes back in the game, and then we pass it. We're basically telegraphing what we're doing, run and pass.
Right.
Whereas last year in that win, we either ran it or threw it with the same personnel, and so the defense didn't have as many easy keys to read for when it's a pass and when it's a run. And I've noticed, like, especially in the Saints game, the moment they knew it was a run, that box had 9 guys in it, not just 8.
Right.
And when Fasano went off and they went to the 3 wide receiver set, he blitzed that Allen guy, whatever his name is. He blitzed. And so there was always a free rusher. We couldn't get any. I mean, I know Jay Cutler stunk the field up, but, man, when you're taking the ball and you're in your 3-step drop, and as soon as you plant to go look at the field and you got some dude from you, what are you going to do? Same thing with Jay Ajayi. I mean, what is he supposed to do? He gets the ball, takes a step, and now he's got to make a dude miss. Then he's got to make another dude miss. And he's lucky to get to the line of scrimmage. He got 56 yards rushing against the Saints. And only totaled 44 yards. And he got those 56 yards after contact. So basically that's telling me he got the ball from the quarterback and he got hit, got a couple of yards, and got hit again. And you can see it. Linebackers are running free almost all day long. It's like, what are they doing? Then everybody, well, it's Pouncey, it's Tunsil, it's the offensive line. Well, kind of, yeah. But when the 2 guards have yet to play a single game out of 3 games, play any kind of, like, just get in front of somebody. And if you notice on several of those runs, especially that one that was successful by Ajayi, Pouncey had to clean up Steen's guy. Fasano was on Bushrod's guy, and Ajayi had to make a jump cut outside towards Juwan James and then burst through the hole, but he had already broken 2 freaking tackles in the backfield. And he ran for, 8-9 yards? But he had to make a cut and 2 tackle breaks just to get beyond the line of scrimmage. That has to change. And we've only converted 2 third downs out of 20 third down attempts on offense.
I posted the
That's it.
I posted on my Facebook page.
We were 1 of 8 in the first half against the Saints on third down. 1 of
8. In our last 19 drives, we went punt, 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 interception, downs, interceptions, touchdown, interception, punt, 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 goddamn punt.
And turnover on downs.
That's what our kicker is
it's that, yeah.
Been getting a hell of a workout. He should be the highest paid player on the team. We've been working the hell out of his foot. working the hell out of that man's foot.
I feel bad for Jay. He's got 200 and something rushing yards, and he's got 186 of those all by himself after first contact.
After contact, yeah.
That is just – and before the Saints game, he was leading in missed tackles with the Raiders with 4.3 yards a carry, but he was leading tied for the league in missed tackles, making dudes miss, breaking off of them, trying to get the shoulder hit, not wrapping up.
What did you think about our defense versus the Saints game? I mean, in that Saints game.
I liked how Burke was willing to change some of his scheme up a little bit.
Yep.
He if Maxwell hadn't got hurt, he would have stuck with him, and I think that was a mistake. I was calling for a change at either Howard or Maxwell with either Tankersley or McTire. Mm-hmm. Just get some kind of spark in the back end. And he didn't call as much zone as he did. He still called some of it, but he didn't call enough blitzes. I think he should have taken some chances to get some heat on Drew Brees more. I mean, out of all the 40-something plays that they ran on offense, we only got pressure on him 9 times. We only got 1 sack.
You know what's funny?
Get no pressure. The dude was 27 of 33. He picked us apart.
I often see other fans tell us as fans that we should be letting the coaches do their jobs and things of that nature. Well, how many of us have been screaming that our corners need to get closer to the line of scrimmage and play more physical?
The whole season.
Exactly. Exactly. And now this last week, did you hear what the coaching staff and so the fans have been seeing this the entire season, and the coaching staff is just now placing an emphasis on it. That tells you that sometimes you don't have to be on that field to see what the hell is wrong.
Yeah. Well, a lot of I've noticed is there are at least an easy 2-3 dozen Dolphins fans on different websites who actually know a little bit about football.
Right.
And they're not using, like, I have a bunch of dudes I keep blocking on my Facebook and on my Twitter. They keep quoting PFF. Well, PFF says this, PFF says that. I keep telling them, dude, you can't. That's a mathematical equation. It's not accounting for actually what happened on the field. You have to run the tape, slow it down, look at what you're looking at.
Exactly.
And some of the fans know what they're looking at. They watch it. They see the guy. You don't have to be a genius to watch. Just as Rivers goes to hike the ball, you're watching Howard and Maxwell start their back pedal, and the receiver hasn't even moved yet. They're already 6, 7, 8 yards off the ball. And then the guy runs a 4-yard route, stops. He throws the quick pass. Well, there's nothing the defensive line can do with that. It's 1 second, 2 second, the ball's gone. Barely got off the line of scrimmage. They're barely into their block, setting up their tackle or the guard that they're against. And I can't believe how effective taking Maxwell off because of his hamstring ankle. Throwing Tankersley in, and they're like, Sean Payton's like, ooh, we got a rookie out there. Let's target him. And on that first drive, they went after Tankersley 5 freaking times on that first drive. And then 2 more the whole other game, so you'd only throw the ball against him 7 times. Tank only allowed 36 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yep.
I'll take that all day long. That dude was on every single receiver like he was flypaper. And after that first drive, Breeze is like, okay, no, I'm not throwing the 30. Let's find somebody else who's open. Then they found the dude McCain was lined up against and Howard was lined up against, and they just salivated on that.
Yep.
And they're not playing up to the line. If Howard actually put his hand on him, I'll take the 1 or 2 pass interferences. By just simply putting his hand on the receiver in that 5 yards, he's now stopped the bubble screens. He stopped the 3-yard hitch,
Yep.
the out, and is contesting, making them try a second move. Now all of a sudden the quarterback has to go, oh shit, that's not open. Who's my second? Who's my third? That's all the time that Sue, Wake, Branch, Hayes, that's all they need. And we saw it with that Saints game with the way Tankersley was playing. In that face of that wide receiver, he was there the whole time. He's like, I'm here, dude. You got to get used to it. That's what I noticed in the Saints game. And if they would play that with the other corner, and if he can't, then Gase said it. We have to find somebody who can, but why wait 3, 4, 5, 6 games? Do it right now. That's what the injury for Lippett, for me, is so huge, because Howard and Maxwell were, if I don't play good, Lippett is going to take my job. And he was playing balls out.
I've
swung that offseason hardcore. I thought he was actually going to win one of the starting jobs.
Yeah. I've always been higher on Lippett than I was on Howard. I love the ball skills on Lippett. Lippett is a former wide receiver, so he tracks the ball in the air very, very well. So I've always been higher on him than I was. I felt like his coverage, I mean, he had some issues. I felt like he was a little too stiff in his hips, and I felt like he had some ways to go. But at the same time, his ceiling is so high, I feel, because he has that size. He's 6'3", and he's got him.
Yeah, 6'3", 210, just huge long arms.
Whereas Howard has been playing this position, 2-3 years in college, and now, I mean, I felt like Lippett's ceiling is higher than Howard's, and
he's only scratched it.
Yeah. What he's been playing corner for a year, 2 years now. I felt like
that's it.
He's got a high ceiling to me, and losing him down to injury to me was huge. I too thought he was going to go out there and take one of those spots, and it would have been nice to see him out there with Tank, and just a lot of what ifs. I feel like it's going to come from this team in 2017, man. That's just the way that it's developing for me. I feel like there's in the end of this season, we're going to sit back and we're going to go, well, what if this person was here? What if that person was here? What if that person was here? I hope I'm wrong, but every single thing that I've saw so far is going right back to what I thought in the preseason. It's
I agree.
It's right back where we were. So, going from there, what is the biggest mistake that you think that this Dolphin team made in the offseason, looking at the results that we have right now? Judging it by 3 games, and I know it's not a big sample size, but judging by what we saw so far, what do you think is the biggest mistake that this team has made in the offseason?
Just one or several?
Whichever ones you want to point out, because there's several that I'm gonna point out as well.
Mine is the signing of both Bushrod and Ted Larson for the guards, and not signing what turned out to be not a very huge contract of Ronald Leary, the former Cowboy guard tackle. Bringing him in, I think one of those positions at left guard or right guard would be as solid as Juwan James and Pouncey are at their 2 positions. We would at least have 3 of the 5 guys on the O line and not 2 guys sitting next to each other struggling. Like, say, Ronald Leary was playing left guard instead of Keenan Davis, and Tunsil's struggling. Well, against the 34 teams, the guard really doesn't have someone lined up on him. The guard can slide and help either the center or the tackle next to him. And with that in the case, with Tunsil struggling a little bit, it would allow Leary to slide over, give him a little help, pick up a blitz here and there, and then he'd get his confidence back, and then he would start living up to his number 1 draft status. To me, that became the biggest mistake of opportunity that we had in the offseason, in my opinion.
I would have definitely liked to see, and I'm along the same line as you. I would have liked, but the contract that I still don't like, even though I'm starting to like the guy a little bit, is the Branch contract. I look back at that contract, that money that we gave Branch, and I look at what the Browns gave Kevin Zettler. And I just wonder what we could have done to get that guy on this line. Can you imagine if we had Zettler filling one of these guard positions right now? I think it would have made a huge difference. Huge.
Well, either one of those two, either Zeitler or
Larry.
Yeah, you can't. Like right now, we're struggling at both guard positions, and that's why Pouncey on the PFF that people are screaming, "Oh, well, Pouncey, he just needs to be gone." They're not understanding. He's having to slide and help out 2 guards. Well, how is he supposed to go left and right? And now he ain't going to the second level. Not that linebacker. So now if Ajayi can make a cut in the backfield, make a guy miss without touching him, now he's making his break the tackle in the second level. That's not some 330, 40-pound big dude. It's a 230, 240 guy who's almost the same size as Ajayi. We've already seen, our eyeballs have already told us that's a win for Ajayi.
Yep.
And that's not happening. And it starts, everyone's all, well, it starts with Jay Cutler. Well, Jay Cutler's not the one blocking those defensive linemen. Our guards are, and they're not blocking. You can see it. You don't even have to slow the tape on. You're watching when, as soon as Ajayi's getting hit, especially that Saints game, you're watching 60, 65 standing there, 67 standing there, 74 standing there, and he gets we get one good play, and it's a holding call. He didn't even need to. It was on the backside, opposite end of the hole, and he's holding the guy. Don't need to. I mean, it's like you just nullified a 9-yard run. Now we're in third and fucking forever.
Yep.
And yeah, I agree with you. That Zeitler contract, which is kind of stiff, but like you said, if don't really need to sign Branch, I mean, you're paying him, what is it, 30-something million?
Yep.
For 5 sacks?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, we're paying Hayes, what, $3 million? He's already got 2 sacks?
Exactly. If we were going to take a defensive end in the first round, get Hayes, why did we take the – unless we – I mean – and Harris wasn't the only defensive end on this team. There's some other guys that we could have targeted. But why in heck did we do that and then sign Branch? That didn't make a lick of sense to me. None. Zero. I don't understand that move at all.
Well, my idea for the contract isn't very popular. I don't understand why we gave for 3 wide receiver 4 years, $32 million, and the Broncos got a Pro Bowl guard for 4 years, $30 million, Ronald Leary. And truthfully, Stills ain't doing shit since he got paid. We struggled against the Seahawks last year in Seattle, and he was wide fucking open 2 times. Ryan overthrew the second one, but Stills dropped the first one. But even though those were 2 incompletes, it loosened up that Legion of Boom and allowed for some underneath throws and some 3 and 4 yard runs. And we're not seeing that right now. And we're supposed to have Parker, who's supposedly on his breakout year. We got Landry. We got Stills, who's supposed to be our deep threat. And now we've seen if he's given an opportunity that Grant can't be caught by nobody. And I just keep looking at and comparing how Kansas City's using Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
And I'm looking at Kareem Hunt coming out, and I have on my board, I have Kenyon Drake graded out higher than Kareem Hunt. But we're not getting the offensive line play for those screens and those pitches to work. And if you look at those bubble screens, the way Kansas City runs it, there's 2 offensive linemen just flattening dudes out there on the edge, the safeties, the corners, and a linebacker that doesn't have a head on a swivel. They're getting plastered. And all Kareem Hunt has to do is just run. He's on a punt return. We've seen Kenyon Drake take a kick return.
Yep.
We've seen him do a spin-a-rooney game and took that bitch 45 yards for a touchdown. No one touched it. Bounced off of Steve's back, going to the left, spun around Matt Moore, and streaked down the sideline, and that shit was over. Rex Ron's over there throwing the headset, just foaming at the mouth like, who the fuck had the backside coverage? And I sit there thinking, why can't our offense be this high-powered? That's what we were told it was going to do. And we ain't seen it in one game yet. I know we're okay in the Charger game. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. Some of the money that we threw out in the off season, we're not getting any production from it. We're not getting long runs from Ajayi. We're not getting those 50-50 point balls with Parker. We're not getting the deep post by Stills, just burning dude right and left. Or we've even seen Grant can do it. He can take the slant that we're running with Jarvis and Julius Thomas. I'd rather have the ball go to the speed guy. How many dudes can he juke and just turn the jets on? I mean, why do we have to sit there and watch like Julius Thomas is literally the shittiest tight end in the NFL right now. There's 71 qualified guys, and he's rated the 70th. He can't block. And last, he got thrown that pass. Jay Cutler hit him in the hip. Why can't you catch it? It's on the ground.
What pass was this? What pass are you referring to?
First half, he run 5 yards up and then did the out towards the sideline. He was wide flipping open. He didn't turn his head quick enough around, and Jay had to throw it early. But he threw it and hit him on his hip where his belly is.
Oh, okay.
And he dropped it. The dude's supposed to be a catcher, right?
Right.
Guys, we fucking reach down and grab it off his shoestrings. How many times have we seen Parker just make a silly-ass catch that was supposed to be incomplete?
Yeah.
And Julius Thomas is famous. He went to 2 Pro Bowls. So was it him or is it Peyton Manning now? I'm not so sure now.
I think it has a lot to do with the ball placement for Julius Thomas as well. I mean, that pass in the end zone, that pass in the end zone was just terrible. That was just
terrible. Even try to knock it down. We're paying him $9 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take the guy. Back it up. Just tackle the fucker right there in the end zone. Don't let him be a pick it off. At least we're still in field goal range with Parkey.
Yeah.
Get the 15-yard pass interference call, backs us out of, was it first and goal at the 4-yard line?
Yeah.
So at 15 yards, so it's 3rd and 20-something. It's an extra point for a field goal. I'll take it. That's 3 points. I'll take it. We got 0.
Yeah.
And here comes Drew Brees back on the field. Boom, 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 boom.
Right down the field.
9 more minutes. The defense is fucking tired. Field goal kick there.
I felt
10-point swing.
I felt so bad for our defense in that game. Because to me,
Yeah, and I don't know why they're not resting Sue. He's been, since the Charger game on, out of the Charger game, we had 58 defensive plays. He played 54. The Jets game we had, was it 59 or 61? And he played 58 of those. He's literally taken 3 or 4 plays off out of all the plays that are being played. How's he going to be fresh down when we need him in Foxborough?
not gonna be.
When we're in fucking Kansas City, chase fucking Alex Smith and that dink and dunk. How's he gonna stop Kareem Hunt on the slant, the screens and shit? The fucker's gonna be wore out like last year. We literally played over 1,100 snaps on defense last year, and we're starting to look like we're going to be playing that again this year. Our offense literally against the Saints only ran 42 or 44 plays. Our defense ran like almost 50. Man, that's just – I'll stop my rant.
You can't win football games like that. There's no way to win football games and play the type of offense we're playing with our defense just being asked to be on the field for so many minutes. It's just not going to happen. Which segues right into the next topic here. It's the Dolphins versus the Titans. There's a lot of ifs going into this game, one of them being starting quarterback Marcus Mariota. You told me earlier that Marcus Mariota is going to play. Is that confirmed?
I can't 100% confirm it. It's a game day decision, but he said on his Twitter account that he's going to play.
Okay.
But how well is he going to play? He has a hamstring issue.
All right. So Marcus Mariota, if Marcus Mariota doesn't play, then we'll see Castle. All right. Castle is the backup quarterback for the Titans.
Yep.
Okay. I'm reading that he's a game time decision for this game. So with that being said, with Marcus Mariota being up in the air on whether he's going to play or not, what do you feel about this Titans game?
We have to stop DeMarco Murray and Henry. Have to double cover Delaney Walker. We can't let him just beat us in the middle. We have to make Decker and those young guys, those first-year rookie guys on the wide receivers on the outside, we have to make them beat us. For our offense, we have to beat, because they play Logan Ryan in the slot, so he's going to be covering Jarvis. So I don't look for Jarvis to do too much. We need to make them pay with those two unknown dudes on the outside with Stills and Parker. So we're gonna have to find a way to get Parker going early and often, and to see if that loosens or brings coverage over and leaves Stills on those one-on-ones with the other unknown guy. They're so unknown I don't even know their names. And then hopefully by that loosens up the 8-man box, and we can get Ajayi some room to work with. Those are my keys. But if we get down late and we have to throw it, I'm looking for Arapaco and those other guys just to pin their ears.
Come after.
And Dick LeBeau is their defensive coordinator, so he's famous for just blitzing exotics.
Exactly.
Safeties, corners, fucking outside linebackers, pulling the stunts, getting the offensive line confused. And right now, I'm not confident that either one of our guards is smart enough to even know what a fucking stunt looks like.
All right. So I'm looking at the actual stats from the Titans. So the Titans right now are 2-2, right?
Yep.
They played Oakland. They got beat by Oakland 26-16. In that game, Marshawn Lynch had 18 carries for 76 yards. He was averaging right around 4.2 yards a carry. Versus the Jaguars, Fournette got 14 carries, 40 yards, only 2.9 yards carry. The Oakland Raiders have a very good offensive line. And
yes.
Marshawn Lynch didn't do a lot with the carries that he got in that game, even though that was a win. Now, last week they got destroyed. Good Lord, 57-14. Watson having a huge game versus that team. Watson with almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. But then again, Miller only had 19 carries for 75 yards. He only got 3.9 yards a carry. So, as of right now, in 4 games, they're not looking very bad when it comes to run defense. And they've played the Raiders, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Seattle Seahawks, and last week the Texans. And even though the Texans did smoke them, they didn't do a terrible job at stopping the run. Because Lamar Miller had 19 carries and still didn't go over 100 yards. So,
yeah, but how many yards did Watson get running? He was torching them too.
Go a little bit deeper in the box score. Watson had 24 yards rushing and a touchdown.
So yeah, you're right. They're kind of stout against the run,
which
it takes away our best player.
Exactly. That scares the shit out of me. Because if we cannot get J-Train going, then we're gonna be in some more trouble.
Long day, dude. Because like I said, Arapaco, he got 2 sacks against us last year. That dude will pin his ears, and then the other dudes will come running with him. And if we start getting into 3 and outs again, how long can we hold off DeMarco Murray and Henry running the ball? And how good our linebackers going to go off of play action and trying to take away Blaine Walker? Torched us last year. He torched us last year.
DeMarco Murray versus Seattle had 14 carries, 115 yards, and 8.2. DeMarco Murray is
a beast.
Yeah, so this is going to be a very stout test for our defensive line, just to see exactly have they improved or what we've seen in these first few weeks have been.
Was it a mirage? Are we not really rated 4th overall against the run?
Exactly.
6th rushing offense. So 4th versus 6th, are we a mirage or are we for real?
Exactly.
We'll tell this game.
This will be the test to know. And it will be even more of a test if we're going 3 and out and out and 3 and 3 and out and 3 and punt and 3 and out and 3 and pick.
Will they audible when they see Malaluga come in at middle linebacker? He's supposed to start at middle linebacker. Will they audible from the run and throw the screen pass and see if he can run?
So it's going to be Malaluga, Timmons, and Kiko up at the linebackers?
Yes, sir.
Who in the hell is going to match up against the tight end out of that set?
Ben Alonzo, who's been getting burnt.
What did we bring that new kid in here for?
Stephon Anthony from the Saints.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I don't know why we brought him in. We gave up a draft selection, our 5th round pick. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, it's a chintzy 5th rounder," but not so fast for the Dolphins. That's where we're getting all of our starters.
Exactly.
Our defensive tackle next to Dominican Sue was this year's 5th round pick out of LSU.
Yep.
Jay Ajayi was the 5th round pick out of Boise State.
Yep.
Bobby McCain, who is our best rated corner right now by PFF, he's the 5th rounder.
Yep.
Tony Lippett, wide receiver from Michigan State, converted to a corner. He's the 5th round pick.
Yep.
We're giving away. We're getting the most starters from a draft pick for a kid. No one. He's been asked since he's been traded for, and the answer is, well, we don't know where we're going to play him at. So they traded for somebody, gave up where we've been finding starters faster rate than other teams in the 5th round for someone we don't know if he's a middle linebacker. We don't know if we're going to play him at Sam. We don't know if we're going to just play him in the nickel to cover. We don't know if he's a wheel to back up behind Kiko Alonso. We have no clue. Coaching staff knows we don't have no clue.
They've been making some very curious moves.
And Chase Allen, they're worried about him. He came in, he balled out.
Yeah.
He did the same thing that Lawrence Timmons doing right now. Timmons come in against the Saints, and he was just hitting dudes. He was pounding. He got a couple of pressures on Drew Brees, made hits on him. He took away the inside running lane of Mark Ingram. But Chase was doing the same thing when he went AWOL in L.A. Chase come in the first play from the scrimmage. He blitzes off the edge and tackles Melvin Gordon 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. His first play in the NFL. We already know he was back up to Mike Cole at middle linebacker. He started at Sam for Timmons and showed that he can do it. What I'd like to see is, why are we even wasting time with Malaluga? Put Lawrence Timmons in the middle. He's the one calling the plays right now, even though he's playing outside.
Right.
Leave Chase in at the Sam.
Yeah.
He ain't played bad, and he's missed no tackles. He's the only linebacker besides Timmons that's missed no tackles. Basically, those are our 2 linebackers. And like you said, they're making curious, weird, like they're supposed to be geniuses at this, and they're making moves that like don't make no common sense. Like
the Carew trade.
Trade 3 picks to get one dude in the 3rd round who literally has thrown the ball fucking 6 times to him. He got a touchdown against the Niners last year.
Yep.
He's coming in as a backup tight end to block. Has not ran a route. I've been watching him. He's been blocking like a tight end in the running game. What the fuck are we doing?
The moves that I don't understand it, and I have these people on my this shit is funny. This shit is funny as hell. All off season, I've had people saying things to me like, "In Gase we trust. In Gase we trust." I hate that. We have blind faith in Adam Gase, and I've been telling people
why.
I've been telling people, listen.
What has he done?
Listen, man. Listen. I don't trust anybody. No one. A head coach is 2 bad years away from being on the chopping block. It's just that simple.
What happens? He made the playoffs his first year.
Yeah.
What happens if we only win 6 games this year? Then turn around next year. Oh, well, we got it figured out. We come right back out of the gate 3 straight years. Slow starts. We're the only team in the league right now that has not scored in the first half a touchdown.
And you know what pisses me off the most out of all of this? The Patriots look like crap.
Garbage. It's our opportunity gone the window.
Yes. We're sitting here. We have all of this talent. And our biggest nemesis in the division, they look like crap, and we're not. Right? Come on.
They're struggling. And they play a good team. They got pounded by the Chiefs. I forgot their other loss, who they lost. And then I watched some of that Buccaneer game. My God, dude. Florida State could have whooped their ass.
Hey, if it wasn't for Nick Folk, they would have lost.
Dude. God damn it, dude. Every time that fucker went out there, I was like, why are you doing this? Dude, go for it. It's 4th and inches. This fucker, he met, was it 5 field goals by the time the game ended?
Yeah.
And an extra point?
Yeah. If I was at that game and I was a Tampa Bay fan, fuck it. I would have got arrested. I would have ran down on the field and kicked Nick Folks in the nuts, man. He might have been wearing a cup, but I wouldn't have given it. I would have kicked him square in the nuts, man. You making us lose, man. God damn. You got one job, Nick Folk. You got one job and you missing them all.
Goal was shorter than an extra point, 23 yards. He shanked that fucker wide left. Dominican Sue was out there kicking 30-yard field goals before the London game.
He was probably looking better than Nick Folk.
That's what I'm saying. He was kicking 30-yard field goals, defensive tackle. Dude, I agree with you. Buffalo has no reason to be leading this division, but that's where they're at.
Yeah.
They're out front by themselves right now.
And they look good.
They're supposed to be tanking it, and they have good offense. Mm-hmm. Their defense is flying around. I'm sitting here wondering what the fuck our team is doing.
Yeah.
I got blocked. I lost 4 followers off Twitter. The dude kept saying, "In Gase we trust." And I'm like, what the fuck are we entrusting with? Toronto gave us better offense than this shit. And we had no quarterback. We had the Wildcat. We had fucking Ronnie Brown and fucking Ricky Williams and that other dude. I forgot his name, but Wildcat went to shit when he got hurt. But we were running 3 running backs as the quarterback and the running backs.
Yep. Shit.
We got more fucking points per game. We won games. Mm-hmm. Jay Fiedler took this fucking 9-6 for fucking what? 10-6 for what? 4 years in a row.
Yep.
We're getting these dudes that, hey, we're so high powered. We're gonna do this and we're gonna do. And he's famous for having the #1 offense with Peyton Manning in Denver. Comes here and man, where?
I don't see it.
$9 million for a tight end that can't. I can run better routes than that motherfucker. I can block better than that motherfucker. I'm sitting on my couch. $9 million. We got our best tight end, Marquise Gray, sitting on the bench. And last year, every time I watched that Buffalo game where fucking 200 yards on 23 fucking carries, and every time I saw we were using Marquise he was the lead fullback. He would line up in the tight end. He would go in motion and then follow. Ajayi would follow 48 up the fucking hole. And that kid never missed a block, dude. Nope. And he's sitting on the fucking bench. Out of 3 games, he's got less than 20 snaps where he's on the field. Seriously. The guy can catch. I remember that long pass last year. Ryan rolling out to his left and fucking against the Steelers, whips that fucker 50 yards downfield, and Marquise Gray makes a fucking toe, drags his toes and catches that fucker on the sideline like a wide receiver. And he's blocking straight up like an offensive line. Why ain't he on the field? We don't have to give away that it's a run by bringing in Fasano from the bench, and he's never run a route. Don't take a genius to figure out when Fasano, number 80, is in the game. Miami is running the ball. Let's fucking run blitz. Let's stack the box with 9 guys. Let's watch Kenny Stills run 10 yards with no one even covering him, and Jay Cutler not even smart enough to audible. Hey, I might get my ass chewed by Adam for audibling off of this, but there ain't no one covering number 10. I'm just going to throw it to him in a little lob and watch that fucker run 90 yards. I mean, why do we have to sit here and watch it?
I remember
we're running a bubble screen with Julius Thomas and Jakeem Grant blocking for Kenny Stills, fucking a bubble screen, and we're wondering why we only got 2 yards. I'm wondering how it didn't get tackled for a fucking 4-yard loss where the ball was actually thrown. Seriously, if Angeloni hadn't hurt his arm, that was a fucking 4-yard loss. I just don't get these moves. Like, we're spending $9 million for Julius Thomas. You pointed out the fact that we're giving $13 million a year to Andre Branch for 1 sack. And last year he only got 5. We're paying Maxwell $13 million to sit on the bench. We dished out the money to Urbic, Larson, Steen, and we got Steen rotating with Davis. I don't understand that move either. That's just ass hattery right there. Neither one of them is run blocking. Neither one of them is pass blocking. While we rotated 2 turds in there, just keep the 1 turd in there. Then we know it's him.
Speaking of that, when the hell does what I think Ted Larson is out? What 8 weeks?
We're supposed to get him back. He should have a window after this game when we go into the Jets game next week, and then the Falcons game after that. Right around that area is when he has an opportunity. He can come back.
Larson can begin practice in October the 16th.
I don't think he can. Gase told us how awesome Julius Thomas is. And I watched Ted Larson when he was in the Arizona Cardinals. He sucked. I watched him with the Bears. He sucked. I watched him with the Patriots. He sucked. He got cut from the Arizona Cardinals because he parked in the head coach's parking spot. He got fired right then and there in the fucking cafeteria on Hard Knocks.
Wait a minute. He got fired because he parked in the head coach's spot?
He parked in Bruce Arians' fucking parking spot. He walks into the cafeteria, the camera's rolling on Hard Knocks. Whoever the fuck is parked in my parking spot, go clean their fucking locker room out right now.
Now, let me ask you a question. Oh man, hey, that's hilarious. Do you think they would have did that to David Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I don't think they would have cut him. I think there would have been a conversation behind closed doors that wouldn't have been nice.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, he's that good, but he got cut for parking in the head coach's parking spot. He's that good.
You parked in the wrong spot.
He's been a block for us. We didn't go after Zeitler from the Bengals. We didn't go after Ronald Leary from the Cowboys. We didn't draft some dude in this 3rd round. We took Asiata in the 5th, and we're not playing him and practicing him on purpose because we want him to take a red shirt because that was our plan from the get-go. And people are calling Asiata a bust. Well, he's playing right tackle, right guard, center, and left guard, and wondering why he's not ready. And like the fans said, he should have competed for the right guard or the left guard spot. We already had 4 guys that were already playing and practicing at center. We don't need 9 guys. We literally have Ted Larson playing left guard, and he was playing center. Craig Urbic was playing both guards and center. Asiata was playing both guards, right tackle and center. We had Davis, that Davis kid, he number 77, him playing left guard, left tackle, center. We have Jake Brendel playing right guard, left guard, center. Why? Why are we the only team playing like there's 9 injuries on the offensive line when there's only 2?
It's
Pick one.
it's
Go 3 deep on position, and after that, the guy plays one spot and learns. My opinion, he was good in college, rated higher than Godchow. Only had to worry about a guard spot. You think that Bushrod would still be in there not blocking nobody? You think Steen would be out there blocking nobody? With Asiata as his famous as a road grader for run blocking? Who gives a fuck if he can pass protect? Open a fucking hole for J-Train and watch the fucking yardage.
Yeah.
Give us some time of possession. So we run 5-6 plays, burn 4 minutes, and then we have to kick a field goal or punt it. Isn't that better than 30 seconds and the fucking no huddle, 3rd and out? Defense don't even get to sit down on the bench and then turn around and walk them back out? Because that's literally what's going on the last 2 weeks. They get off the field, we punt it. They get the ball back. We run 3 plays, and we got a punt. The defense stands back up after just now sitting down. They take a half a sip of a Gatorade and go back out there. And the other teams aren't just running 5-6 plays. They're running. That first drive of the Jets was fucking 8.5 minutes, 14 plays. The first drive of the Saints, 13 plays. And we stopped them. We took them out of their field position for a field goal. They had to do a pooch punt. They were out there for fucking 6 minutes. By the time the end of the game was over, they were out there 24 minutes, and we only had fucking, 13, 15 minutes of possession? Man, that can't happen, dude.
all right. So, what is your prediction? Your score prediction for this game?
It's going to be 27-10 Tennessee. I don't see us pulling it out.
I have this game being I got it being 17-6 Tennessee. And I don't even think it matters which quarterback is out there.
It don't. I'm agreeing with you on that.
I don't think it matters if it's Castle or it's Mariota. People are like, well, if Mariota isn't playing, we have a better shot at winning this game. Dude, we got beat by goddamn Josh McCown.
Yeah. Josh McCown, dude.
Josh McCown.
Journeyman.
Josh McCown or Castle. I think they're in the same garbage damn boat. I think they both sinking in garbage.
Castle's a good screen thrower and game manager more than McCown. That scares me more than Mariota because it plays in. The head coach knows he has to run the ball, and I'm worried that our defense will give up the run game simply because they're out there too long. That's what I'm scared of. That's why I have it. That's why I have it 27-10, because I think we'll score a garbage touchdown like we did against the Jets, where it won't matter, but the scoreboard won't look like the Saints game.
Right. Anyway, folks,
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Anyway, folks, check it out. Make sure that you follow the channel next week. We will be talking Dolphins versus the Falcons. Same time, same channel. Tomorrow, I will be broadcasting the game, definitely, because I will be home. So make sure that you swing by, you check it out. Oh, yeah, and I'll be wife-free tomorrow. I get to watch the game in peace, man, peace. I'm taking her to her auntie house. I ain't
gonna be no peace. You keep talking.
See? You see the shit I got?
Can you hook a brother up with the live stream?
Yeah, I will have the live stream up at 1:00 and we'll watch the game together, man. Anyway, I'm out of here. I gotta get ready to take her away from me so I can have a peaceful weekend, man. I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm getting beat over here, man. This is abuse. I'm gonna call the cops.
Shut up. Let's go.
I'll talk to you guys next time, man.
Now.
We're out of here.
Thank you guys.
All
Good
right.
luck, bud.
All right, you're going too far now. Calm the hell down. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.